On the news, Edo House of Assembly impeaches Philip Shaibu. Omobayo Godwin is inaugurated as Deputy Governor. Former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, arraigned in Lagos, pleads not guilty to abuse of office charges. And Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu appoints Lagos to London solo driver Pelumi Nubi as tourism ambassador. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Adigun. Well, what is best described as a landmark move in the history of Edo State, the House of Assembly has impeached the state's Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu. The impeachment follows the adoption of the report of the 7-man investigative panel set up by the Assembly to probe allegations of misconduct against Shaibu. The move is a culmination of the political impasse between the ex-deputy governor and his former principal Godwin Obaseki. During plenary at the Assembly complex in Benin City, the Edo State capital, the majority leader of the House said the report of the 7-man judicial panel of inquiry presented to the House had 2 findings and 1 recommendation. 18 out of 19 members present at plenary voted for the impeachment of the deputy governor, while 1 person abstained from the head count and voting process. Addressing citizens in the state broadcast, the impeached deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, faulted the lawmakers and believed his impeachment was a threat to the country's democracy.
I denounce in strongest terms the illegal impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly over trump-up charges. This is not just an attack on me as an individual, but on the very democratic principle that we hold there. It is a dangerous descent into dictatorship and a threat to the foundation of our democracy. Let it be clear that this impeachment was hushed because of my ambition to contest the Edo State 2024 governorship election under the People's Democratic Party, PDP. An ambition that is a legal right to all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a sad reality that in our political landscape, ambition is met with resistance, and those in power seek to silence opposition through illegitimate means. I call upon all well-meaning citizens of Edo, and indeed all Nigerians, who believe in the principle of democracy and justice, to stand with us in this moment of crisis. We cannot allow tyranny and oppression to take roots in our society. We must resist the forces that seek to undermine our freedom and trample upon our rights. To the members of Edo State House of Assembly who have chosen to forsake their oath of office and participate in this charade, I say this: history will judge harshly for your betrayal of the people who elected you to represent their interests. But know this: you do not have the power to silence the voice of justice and truth. I call upon the judiciary and all relevant authorities to intervene and uphold the principles of justice and fairness. Let the truth prevail over lies. Let the rule of law triumph over lawlessness. I am confident that the legal system will vindicate me and expose the sham that has been orchestrated against me.
But shortly after the impeachment of Philip Shaibu as Deputy Governor of Edo by the State House of Assembly, Omobayo Godwin has been sworn in as a replacement. Following his confirmation as the Deputy Governor designate by the State Officers of Assembly, Omobayo Godwin was sworn in at about 1:30 p.m. at the Government House in Benin City, the state capital, at a brief event attended by supporters, state government functionaries and politicians. His swearing-in came swiftly after Shaibu's impeachment on the grounds of releasing secret information about the state, ending months of power tussle between him and Governor Obaseki over the former's quest for the state's governorship seat. Godwin, who hails from Akoko Edo local government area of the state, is a registered member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Before his new appointment, Godwin served as a senior maintenance engineer at the Dresser Wayne West Africa Limited, cutting his professional teeth in the operations in the South-South state. Well, to speak on the impeachment of Philip Shaibu further, legal expert Evans Ufeli joins me on the news. Thank you for your time, Mr. Ufeli. Now, are you surprised that Shaibu has eventually been impeached, considering how much he fought against the move?
Well, I'm not surprised because the State House of Assembly were bent on ensuring that he's impeached. And the impeachment, for me, it was orchestrated in bad faith. Orchestrated in bad faith because the procedures that is required by law to have a deputy governor impeached were overstepped. Because if you look at it, just a week ago, they were talking about how to serve him the impeachment notice. All of a sudden, overnight this week, he has been impeached. So, but you know the procedure under which a deputy governor can be impeached, they are quite laborious and cumbersome. One of which is that the notice must first be served on him. After the notice, the State House Assembly will come together and decide whether they want to investigate the matter. Once that is done, he's given an opportunity to come and they set up a panel. The panel is set up. He's given an opportunity to come and defend himself, which is what we call fair hearing, which he can do by himself or with a lawyer of his choice. Then they set up a committee that will look into the allegations, and the committee will have 7 days within which to do that. We'll have 90 days within which to do that. And that 90 days, not that they will spend all, but considerably, that's a considerable time upon which they can look at evidence properly and decide whether or not you should be impeached before they submit to the State House Assembly, before they do the final. So all these procedures and steps, the State House Assembly claimed to have set up a panel, and the panel came up with a report. The time within which they're supposed to do that is supposed to be 3 months, which will require for rigorous walk into the they did that almost like overnight. So when did they have the time now to go through the investigation proper and find out whether those allegations were true? The allegations of gross misconduct, which they say is the revealing of government secret and perjury. When have they done that proper? And did they give him the opportunity to come and for fair hearing, to come and defend himself and all that by himself or the lawyer of his choice? So some of the procedural circle that is required in the case were overstepped by the State House Assembly, and as such, they have observed the Constitution in breach. And once there's a breach in the procedure, it hampers the legality of fidelity of their actions. And that is where we are. So I do not think this impeachment was done in good faith.
All right, now the former Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, has indicated his interest to challenge this impeachment. According to a statement he released, it shows he's heading to court. Now, do you think that Philip Shaibu has a strong case in court?
He has a very strong case, absolutely, because the processes and procedures required by law, okay, for which the court is supposed to adopt, the National House of Assembly is supposed to adopt, have not been adopted. So it leaves him with legal redress. He should take this case before the court of law to seek legal redress. Let the court make a pronouncement on judicial review to evaluate what the State House Assembly have done, whether it conforms with the Constitution or not. In my estimation, I think that that part of the Constitution has been breached by the very act that fair hearing was not given. The panel that's supposed to come with the report within a particular time did that maybe over a day or thereabouts. The rush was amazing. The indications were that perhaps the State House Assembly was influenced or procured, or they may have collected gratification to whatever it is they have done to carry out this kind of impeachment in such a rush. And to say that in virtually all the states in Nigeria where deputy governors have been impeached, it has always been in observing it in breach of the law. Whatever it is they have done to bring Shaibu or to take him down as a deputy governor, which they have not done in the context of the application of the Constitution rightly, with the tenet of democracy, is soiled that they are not able to they're not able to come clean to say they have done the right thing. And this is obtained in bad faith, to say the least.
Keep monitoring events as they unfold. Legal expert Evans Fufele, thank you very much for sharing your insights. Moving on, some members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the House of Representatives have asked Umar Damagum, acting chairman of the party, to tender his resignation. While making their demand during a press conference in Abuja on Thursday, the lawmakers accused Damagum of anti-party activities. They also accused Damagum of allegedly masterminding the doctoring of caretaker committee members' lists in Rivers and 10 other states. The development comes amid the political crisis in Rivers State. Nyesom Wike, the immediate past governor of Rivers, and Similaye Fubara, his successor, have been embroiled in a struggle for the control of Rivers' political structure. Ahead of the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, one of the aspirants under the platform of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) Oke Olushola has assured the people of Ondo State that he will prioritize agriculture if given an opportunity to govern the state. Olushola, who gave the assurance while addressing journalists after submitting his nomination and expression of interest forms at the party's national secretariat in Abuja, explained that Ondo State is suffering from the current level of poverty, as over the years little or no attention has been paid to agriculture, which used to be the major source of income in the entire southwest region. According to Olushola, all is not well with the state, and a visionary leader is the solution to its challenges, adding that he's coming on board with innovations that will put an end to poverty ravaging the state.
We all agree that it's the turn of the South, where I come from, to produce the next governor. My motivation is not the law of the office. I have no gaps in my life to fill. As a senior advocate of Nigeria, I've reached the pinnacle of my career, and I'm doing well, very well with my profession. My decision, if I become and when I become the governor of Ondo State, first, by the grace of God, is to open up the farmlands. Instead of busying myself with the cosmopolitan, where there's no wet, I will face the farmlands. In every local government, I will open not good road that will traverse the entire landscape of the farmlands. I will not stop there. I will build what I will call farmers' guest house inside the farmlands. It could be for 50 rooms. Any farmer who wants to go and do farm work, and you don't want to come back on daily basis, even if you have vehicle, the cost of fueling may eat to the profit. You have a place there where you can be for 1 week, 2 weeks, you are there. There will be an officer that will attend to you, provide you meal, which is not free. It may be subsidized, but it's not free. You pay for it. I won't stop at that. I will bring in equipment that will help the farmers to clear their land. The era of using cutlasses and axes to clear land has gone. There will be mechanical way of clearing the land for the farmers. And when cleared, this land can now be apportioned, can be allocated to willing farmers in hectares, in acres, depending on the capacity of the farmer. One major challenge that is also making farming difficult in the state is insecurity. As far as I'm concerned, the Amatekos have no role to play in town. I will build a barrack for them inside the farmland there, so that they can give sense of security to our people.
The Ikeja High Court in Lagos has ordered the remand of former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Emefiele is to be remanded to the next adjourned date, Thursday, April 11, when the court will give its ruling on bail. Justice Ramano Shudi also ordered the remand of Emefiele's co-defendant, Henry Omoile, at the Ikoyi prison, pending the court's ruling on his bail on Thursday. The court ordered the remand of both men after listening to the bail applications filed by the counsel, Abdul Hakim Labi Lawal. Our correspondent, Ogeo Kekwe, has more.
The embattled past governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, arrived at 9 a.m. at the Lagos State High Court in Ikeja for his arraignment over alleged abuse of office. The trial judge, Justice Raham Oshori, also arrived courtroom at 9 a.m. to begin proceeding. Emefiele was arraigned alongside Henry Isioma Omole, on fresh 26 counts before Justice Raham Oshodi of the Ikeja High Court. The EFCC alleged that Emefiele abused his office between 2022 and 2023 by allocating over $2 billion without bids. He was also accused of conferring a corrupt advantage on his associate contrary to the Corrupt Practices Act of 2000 in the charge filed on April 3rd by the EFCC prosecutor Rotimi Oyedepo. Both defendants are accused of accepting gratification, accepting gifts through agents, corruption, and fraudulent property receipts. However, both defendants pleaded not guilty to all counts. Speaking on behalf of the defendant, Emefiele's lawyer, Abdulhakeem Ladi Lawal, urged the court to admit his clients on bail on self-recognition pending the hearing and determination of the case or on the most liberal bail term. The counsel also asked the court to grant the second defendant bail on the most liberal term. In his response, EFCC prosecutor Rotimi Oyedepo did not oppose the request of bail. He asked the court to exercise his discretion in the grant of bail. After listening to the submission of both counsel, Justice Oshodi remanded Emefiele to EFCC custody and the second defendant to the Ikoyi Correctional Center and adjourned the case till April 11 for ruling on bail and the commencement of trial. Ogechukwu Kekwe, TV360, Lagos.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has appointed a 28-year-old travel content creator, Pelumi Nubi, as the State Tourism Ambassador. Nubi, who embarked on a journey from London on January 31, 2024, arrived to Lagos through the Seme border at about 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Speaking with journalists at the National Stadium in Lagos, the Special Advisor on Tourism, Arts and Culture, Idris Aregbe, commended Pelumi for achieving the landmark feat as she put the state on the world map despite having an accident during the solo drive trip. While narrating her experiences, Nubi expressed gratitude to God and Nigerians for the support during her live reportage of the solo drive road trip.
This is going to be for you. It's certainly going to change a whole lot of courses for you, but I can see that you're ready for it. I can see that you've been self-propelled, you've been self-motivated, you've been self-in-tuned into this. And I want to say to you that welcome to your new world. Looking at your experience and your journey the last almost 90 days now, because I'm sure there's been a lot of preparation to it, is indeed very inspirational. And you've actually just shifted mountains, not just moved, you've actually shifted, locations. I want to say that this is indeed a true African spirit that you've demonstrated. This is indeed a true Nigerian capability that you have demonstrated. But more importantly, this is a story of Lagos not a carry last. We want to say that indeed, for us in Lagos, our own celebration is just starting. We'll work with your planners, we'll work with your time, and we'll see how we further celebrate you. And it's not just about you being the one celebrating, it's about the future. It's about the girl child that you talked about. It's about the power of possibility. It's about the power of mind. When we put our mind to things, and that is half gone, right? All you just need to do is to continue to activate that power that is inherent in you. And you're a complete, African story that we can, showcase that indeed these are, the changers of the world that we see. These are the movers of the new world, that we're talking about. And I've got some good news for you. Mr. President is actually aware that you are back in the country. He's aware that you're in Lagos last night, and he'll be willing to meet with you.
Like when I started this, I was just doing my own thing. I was just traveling, and it got worldwide recognition. And it always just shows that you just have to step out of your comfort zone. You really just have to do the things that you're scared of. So don't listen to what anyone says. Don't listen to the naysayers. Trust your instinct, trust your gut, and go for it.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, CBN stops use of foreign currencies as collateral for Naira loan. We'll bring you details shortly.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Let's give you a recap of our top stories. The Edo State House of Assembly has impeached Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu following the adoption of the recommendation of a 7-man judicial panel led by Justice Stephen Omonua. 18 out of 19 members present at plenary voted for the impeachment of the Deputy Governor, while 1 abstained from the head count and voting process. Addressing citizens in a state broadcast, the impeached Deputy Governor faulted the lawmakers and believed his impeachment is a threat to the country's democracy. We also told you that the Ikeja High Court in Lagos has ordered the remand of a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Emefiele is to be remanded to the next adjourned date, Thursday, April 11, while the court will give its ruling on bail. Justice Raman Oshodi also ordered the remand of Emefiele's co-defendant, Henry Omoile, at the Ikoyi prison, pending the court's ruling on his bail on Thursday. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, let's now join Joy Uchejim, who's on standby with a lowdown of what's happening in the world of business. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has written to all banks in Nigeria to stop the use of foreign currencies as collateral for Naira loans. The Apex Bank disclosed it had been observed that the use of FCY by bank customers as collateral for Naira loans and therefore prohibits it with immediate effect. This ban extends to most foreign currency-based financial instruments, excluding those specifically permitted by the CBN. Reacting to this development, Economics Mokhtar Mohammed commended the move, saying it will help overcome challenges of foreign exchange liquidity.
It's a good move in terms of, we've always said that why the Naira suffered so much from the dollar was because of lack of liquidity. And so what this policy will do is to bring back liquidity into the system, because a lot of these banks have been given 90 days. Otherwise, there's a punishment. And this time, the punishment is not just in terms of fine. It also has to do with their, when you reduce bank capital adequacy ratio by 150%, that is huge. I mean, at the time that banks will be looking for more funds to beef up their capital base. So I think the long and short of it is a good move by the CBN to have something like that, because the challenge of the foreign exchange has been liquidity. Like I said, this move will add liquidity into the system, And so they've also been able to come up with policy that are working. So definitely we'll continue to see those numbers go down, especially the exchange rate between the Naira and dollars. So in the next 90 days, it could be a game changer. We might begin to see FX flood the economy again, and the exchange rate might just be going down again. So it's good for Nigeria, but in the first place, it was not even supposed to be that whereby you have
We'll take a short break and be back with stock market reports. Welcome back. The bearish sentiment seen lately at the Nigerian equities market continued on Monday, April 8th, as more investors stayed on the sell side of the bourse as the beginning of the week, which was shortened by the Easter holidays. The market decreased by 0.38%, losing 222 billion naira at the close of trading. In the aggregate, 124 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 17 gainers and 24 losers. Abe Mortgage Bank led the losing side, coming out with an end-of-day price depreciation of 9.75%, closing at 2 naira 50 kobo after opening the day at 2 naira 75 kobo, followed by Champions Breweries, which ended the day at 3 naira 36 kobo. Now, at the end of the first weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 397 billion volumes of shares were exchanged in 9,430 deals with a market value of over 7 billion naira. Now, let's switch to our select global stocks. Now, despite a tough round in the previous week, our select global stocks are off to a great start this week as they have all ended Monday's trading in the bulls at 0.41%, 0.96%, and 0.91% respectively. That's it on both business and stock market reports. Back to you, Simi, with the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Joy, for that update. And on the foreign scene, the European Union will vote on Wednesday on a vast overhaul of its immigration policies that will notably harden entry procedures for asylum seekers and require all the bloc's countries to share responsibility. The European Parliament will also decide on a series of laws forming the bloc's migration and asylum pact, based on a European Commission proposal first made in September 2020. The overhaul was reached only after overcoming years of tensions and divisions among EU member countries. Once fully adopted, the policies will come into effect from 2026. And on sports, Super Falcons captain Rasheedat Ajibade has urged Nigerians to have confidence in the ability of the team to earn a ticket to the Paris 2024 Olympic Women's Football Tournament in France as they prepare to do battle with the Bayana in Pretoria on Tuesday night. In the first leg of the 2024 Olympics qualifiers third round, the Super Falcons defeated the Bayana 1-0, courtesy of a penalty goal from Rasheedat Ajibade in Abuja on Friday, April 5. Ahead of the game, the 24-year-old, who is contracted to Spanish women's club Atletico Madrid, urged football enthusiasts in Nigeria to believe that the team can qualify for the Olympics. That's all on news now. Thank you for watching. See you next time.